Now, while we're decorating our tree here, I think it's a good time just to talk about general tips for decorating your Christmas tree if you're watching this during Christmas or if I even get this video out before Christmas. I hope I do. I really do. But with the size of this project, I might not. Anyways, tip number one and my biggest pet well, it's not really a pet peeve, but it's something that really helps make your Christmas tree look really good. I'm not gonna do it here because leaves are not as see through, and you understand why. It's Minecraft, not an actual Christmas tree. Anyways, tip number one: make sure you decorate not just the outside of your Christmas tree, but make sure you also decorate the inside. And I mean, like, you have the fluffy outside branches. If you have a well, even if you have a real Christmas tree, I would I have never had a real Christmas tree, so I'm just assuming here, but I would assume you have on the inner layers actual wooden branches with less needles and leaves in there. In those parts, you want to put your tillin. I can never say that word right. Tillin, you know what I mean. The fluffy, silvery stuff and your light in there, and you wrap it around the branches as you slowly twirl it up. And not near the outside, near in the middle center area. And then when you turn on your lights, all the ornaments and the sparkling and the lights in the center of the tree is going to push on the outside and really make your tree look full. Because if you're just hanging up your ornaments on the outside or just your lights on the outer edge of your Christmas tree, you're going to quickly run out of room. And when you look at it from afar, yeah, it's going to look nice, of course, but it's going to look like there's still a lot of space, really isn't, to put more ornaments. So if you're also putting ornaments and lights on the inside of the tree, it really helps fill out your tree and it gives it more depth, which, if you know anything, is a big thing even in Minecraft. You always want to have depth. It really helps make your things look better. But tip number two, this one is a pet peeve, and it's decorate the back of your tree. I don't care if it's against the wall. I don't care if no one's ever gonna see it. Decorate the back of your tree because you're gonna have that one person who does look in the back of the tree, and then they're gonna look back there and say, "Hey, why didn't you decorate the back of your tree?" It's also it just it's peace of mind knowing that if something happens in the front of the tree, you can twist it around or just generally knowing that you have a fully decorated tree. Tip number three, and this one, it's it's kind of a tip, but you don't have to do it. I like doing it personally. But what I like to do is make sure, even if I have to lift the tree off the ground with a box or something, it's to make sure there's at least a 2 foot gap between the tree, the bottom of the tree, and the ground, just so you have room to place your presents. Because a lot of modern fake trees, at least, they don't have that. There's like maybe a foot of room underneath the tree, and you're never gonna be able to fit any good amount of gifts underneath to make that perfect Christmas tree scene, like from the movies and stuff. So you want to get a box, get jerry rig something. I always do, and try to lift your tree a few feet off the ground. Of course, make sure the tree isn't gonna fall and all that. But get the tree a few feet off the ground, and when you put the gifts underneath, it's gonna look amazing. Trust me. Tip number four. This again is another thing I personally do that I just like to do, and it's if you have any white tillin or icicle type things, I like to make it look like the white tillin or icicles fell on the tree, like there's snow on the top layer of the tree. So I'll focus all the tillin or white tillin. I know I'm saying that word completely wrong, but I like to focus all of that towards the top of the tree and slowly spiral it down and make less and less of the white stuff go towards the bottom. And then if I have like little icicle ornaments, I will put those at the very bottom of the tree, making them hang down and look like there's icicles dripping down from the tree. And my fifth and final tip is if you have any glass ornament, try to make sure that your tree not just has that little skirt underneath it, but try to make sure your tree is also above a carpet or a rug, preferably a really fluffy one. So if any of your glass ornaments do fall, they have a less chance of breaking. I don't have that many glass ornaments on my tree personally, but I do have a few that I really care about. They were made a long time ago, and they're made of light bulbs, and they're made of a light bulb that basically isn't made anymore. So it's basically impossible for me to ever get more of those ornaments. Plus, they were made by someone I care about to help make sure, or at least reduce the chance of glass light bulbs, or not light bulbs, of glass ornaments breaking. Put a fluffy rug or a blanket or something down underneath the tree and make sure it goes past the branches of the trees at least by a foot or two, and that will hopefully reduce how many ornaments of yours will break, especially if you have special ones. So yeah, that's all 5 of my tips for me. But now that we're all done decorating our tree here, let's go ahead and actually get to the work on this episode.